Hi, Sharon families. This is Dr. Andis with another parent communication for August 20th, 2020. So, we had a great question from a parent yesterday regarding questions about whether students were required to wear face masks. So, here we go. Earlier in the month, Governor Evers did issue a facial covering mandate in public places through September 28th. And that does mean that here at school, we are obligated to follow that mandate. So even though our reopening plan was planning on face coverings being optional, his mandate overrides us and requires us to follow it. So that means that every student age 5 and up will be required to wear a face covering when at school, even when they are social distancing. The same goes for our staff. Students will be allowed to take their masks off when they are outside and at least 6 feet apart. They will be able to remove them in order to eat or to drink here in the building. And this is pretty much new for all kids. We get that. So we are all learning and practicing this together. We don't expect that anybody is going to be perfect or not need reminders or maybe an extra break in the day to get outside to take that off. Some students with disabilities or other factors may be exempt from it. If you feel like your child might fall into that category, please contact the case manager or the school office with questions. But for the most part, it's pretty much everybody. And that it may be extended. We just don't know at this point. It's too early to say, but we do anticipate that that is a strong possibility. All right, so lots of questions about what kind of masks does the mandate allow and not allow. Essentially, if there are any vents in a mask, if there is any mesh in the mask, or any other types of openings in it, it is not allowed. So I just tried to find some examples of things that definitely wouldn't be permitted under the mandate. The other thing the mandate would not allow is a mask that does not completely cover your mouth and your nose. So both of those things must be covered at all times under the mandate. So these kinds of masks, not okay. I know I've seen a lot of people that have one with just the small round vent at the bottom of the mask. Can't have that one either. There can't be a vent on it of any kind. So the other caveat is that the mask must be school appropriate. So I tried to find an example of what could that be. And I felt like this one was an okay example to show you. So nothing offensive, no bad language, nothing drug related, gang related. Also, nothing violent or scary. Things like this mask, while maybe not frightening to a middle schooler, are definitely going to scare our younger kiddos in the building. Also, no political masks or anything controversial. We don't want to get into that game here at school. We want to focus on learning. If you want to shout out your love for Taylor Swift or My Little Pony or Transformers, things like that are perfectly fine. We get that kids have favorite characters and that kind of thing. Just make sure that those characters are appropriate for school. One other thing with our dress code is that we are temporarily allowing bandanas. Bandanas are okay in the mandate. Normally, they're not allowed in school because of their association to gangs. However, given the public health emergency and the low cost of bandanas, we are temporarily allowing them right now. So, examples of masks that are okay. There's in the middle that bandana. Homemade face coverings that are fabric are just fine. You can find lots of them online and in the stores. Like the paper, surgical, or medical Disposable masks are fine as well. If you are sending those, I recommend sending a few extras because I can tell you with my own kids, they like to pull on them and snap the elastic parts around the ears, and then they just don't work anymore. The gator style one that's popular with men and like motorcycle riders is fine as well. They don't work as great, but they are allowable under the mandate, so we are fine with them too. So just some tips. Again, the order does require us to remind your kiddo to wear the face mask appropriately, which means not pushed down under their nose, hanging off their chin or their ear, not over the top of their nose so their mouth is hanging out. It has to cover both the top of the nose through the bottom of the mouth. Other mask tips, some reminders. Don't forget to wash your hands. Make sure that it covers, again, your nose and your mouth. Lots of our kids, even our adults right now, struggle with avoiding touching them to adjust them throughout the day. That's a really hard one, but we recommend touching the strings or the sides of them rather than the front where you breathe. And then taking off the mask too late or too soon. Make sure that you, again, get outside or that good distance away. Or, for example, here at lunchtime, we'll be reminding them to get back to their seat before they take it off to eat their lunch. And then the last mistake I know a lot of us are guilty of is reusing dirty masks or old masks. I know everyone's got the one right now hanging in the visor in their car. But make sure that after you've worn it, that it gets thrown away if it's disposable or washed daily. Other tips are that most cloth face coverings, reusable ones, whether people have told you or not on the packaging, is that they're usually only good for 20 washes. And then you're supposed to throw them away. So just keep that in mind. You should wash them in soapy hot water. It doesn't have to be dish soap or any special kind of soap. It can be a regular laundry detergent. And then they're recommending that they are dried in either the sunlight or in your dryer on the hot or cotton high setting. Remember to change them out when they're damp. So this is one of the reasons why we're asking you to send a few, is that if your students gets wet, they become very uncomfortable when they are wet, and it can cause like skin discomfort or breakouts. So, changing them throughout the day can be necessary. And then in order to care for them, they do recommend that you wash them in some type of mesh laundry bag just to help preserve them. It also, in my opinion, helps it to be easier to find them in your laundry. And again, send extras. All right, lots of questions about 4K and face coverings. So again, that mandate starts at age 5, but we have kiddos in 4K who turn 5 that first week of school. So we recommend that you send face coverings with all 4K kids, and that we'll start practicing with them throughout the year on wearing them for short periods of time and trying to build up a tolerance with that. And then if you want them to wear it all of the time, even though they're not 5 yet, you just need to reach out to Miss Sass and let her know that. She will do the best she can to try to get them to keep it on and wear it appropriately. Obviously, we don't have magic wands here, but we will do our best to follow your wishes with that. So again, once they turn 5, they will have to start wearing it, and we get that that's going to be difficult, so we'd like to practice with them. If you have any other topics or suggestions for other parent communications, please feel free to send suggestions or ideas to Mrs. Lewick or myself. These are our email addresses, and we'll include those in one of our topics coming up. All right, have a great weekend, everybody.